want my opinion, that's your best bet. 19,900.
Why don't they call it 20,000 and have done with it? Still, it looks very nice. When are you going to visit it, Kelly?
Tomorrow afternoon. I wanted to go round this evening, but they're expecting visitors.
Not another buyer?
No, relatives, the bloke said. He sounded genuine enough.
There you are. Where have you been?
Oh, I went round to Diane's and we got talking. Sorry.
Well, your supper's in the kitchen. It's salad. We did wait.
Oh, it's all right. I'm starving. I'll get it.
Kevin's been telling us about this house. Sounds just a job.
What?
The one in Heathbury.
Oh, yeah. Sounds smashing, doesn't it? Oh.
Come round to the idea, then, because you didn't seem too struck.
Oh, it's lovely. Just what we're looking for.
Great.
Did you manage to ring your dad about the bridging loan in case we need it?
Yeah, he said he'll back us.
Because they might want a quick decision if they're buying somewhere else. Mum, have you seen the library tickets anywhere?
You what?
You know, square, cardboard
Oh,
things.
I know what they look like. I'm just surprised you're asking for them. You haven't picked up a book in months.
Well, just felt like a read. I think the last time I saw them, they were in this drawer.
Oh, come on. Sit down. Get on with your supper. They won't run away.
They'll be closed anyway. If you were thinking of...
Tomorrow morning on my way to work. Mwah. You're fantastic. Do you know that?
Oh, Di.
You've just missed her.
That's the story of my life, isn't it?
She's gone down the laundrette.
Ah.
First right past the chemist, 100 yards further
I
up.
think I'll give it a miss. It's not my sort of hobby, watching clothes go round and round. Anyway, it's you I wanted to see.
Oh, now he tells me. You fancy a piece of toast?
No, thanks.
I don't know what's wrong with me. I think it's anxiety eating.
Yeah, well, I'm afraid I might be adding to that.
Don't tell me. Whatever it is, I don't want to know.
I think you'd better. Benny's gone off into the country. Peachy. Does that ring a bell?
More of a clanger. Who told you?
Your brother, Terry.
How did he know?
He knows quite a lot, does Terry, one way and another.
Well, tell me.
Yeah, like why Benny went.
I could have told you that, love. You see, Benny finds it hard to live with the responsibility of what he's done, the shame of it. Most people could just shrug it off, but not him. It really upset him.
He didn't do it.
What are you talking about?
What is foul up with the oil change? It wasn't down to him.
Well, tell me, who was it?
Terry's fault.
Not him again.
Deliberate.
I will kill him. So help me, I'll kill him.
Yeah, well, don't tell me. I don't want to know. I'm a policeman.
What did he do that for?
He wanted to get his own back.
On Barbara?
Oh, she made him look small, didn't she?
Yeah, well, that doesn't take a magic wand, does it? He is small, and he's thick, and he's stupid. He actually did that.
Oh, yeah.
And he let Benny take the blame.
As it turned out.
Our mother would turn in her grave, she would, honestly. Does anybody else know about this?
Oh, no, not yet.
Right, then we better find Benny, come on.
Well, have you got somebody you can phone?
I'm not sure.
What's his place Peachy like, anyway?
Well, it's small and...
Hey, how about trying a local pub?
No, he wouldn't be in there. No. Hang on. There's his stepmother and his stepbrother. No, they don't get on.
Hey, look, I tell you what. I'll take a drive down there tomorrow morning and round him up for you. How'd that do?
Oh, Ashley, would you? Would you honestly?
You leave it to me, eh?
Yeah. And you can leave our Terry to me.
Thank you. Enjoy your evening off.
Hello. Is there any mail for me?
No, Miss Marsh.
I kept your usual table for you this evening, Miss Marshall.
Did you?
But you're cutting things a little fine. It's nearly last order's time. I'd advise you to order now.
I've eaten.
Oh? Out?
Yes, out.
Avoiding the cuisine here, or me?
You.
Were you dining out with Richard Lloyd?
That's my business. But the answer happens to be no.
Did you fix up that membership with him? Surely, Gina, you remember the trouble I went through introducing you to Mrs. Hamilton so that you could gamble at the casino?
I remember most that I had not asked you to go to such trouble. Hence my avoidance of you ever since.
But did you get the membership?
No, I didn't. I've really no idea why either you or Richard came galloping up to me as if I were some wet little damsel in distress.
I'd say that was because we both find you extremely attractive.
I'd say because you both take pleasure in pushing people into doing things that they'd never thought of. I really won't allow you to fill my head with suspicions about a woman who anyone can see, if they've the slightest knowledge of human nature, is as straight as can be.
Gina, no person is ever as straight as can be, only as may be.
Just spare myself remarks like that, which sound sensible, but on reflection are absolute nonsense. I've asked for my bill, and I'm leaving the motel in the morning.
Has it ever occurred to you that it might not be wise to leave until the matter of your father's will is cleared up?
I've no idea what the will contains. I shall inquire through my solicitor from abroad, having resumed my job. Otherwise, I should be forced into the ridiculous position of meeting Mrs. Hamilton under my own name and having to explain to her why on earth I assumed a false one.
Well, perhaps you can do that now.
Miss Marshall, this is Richard Lloyd.
How do you do, Miss... I'm sorry?
Marshall, how do you do?
Mr. Lloyd is the casino's accountant, you see.
Yes, I know, head waiter. Mrs. Hamilton told me this morning.
But Mr. Ross is not exactly a head waiter, you know.
I know, but I can't help thinking so. If it tastes like one.
Miss Marshall is a little afraid she might be betting in such small amounts it may not be worth the casino's while.
Oh, we'd be happy to enroll you, Miss Marshall. We don't like young people to lose too much in any case. Scares them away before they've made enough money to interest us.
I'll leave the formalities to you then. Good night, Miss Marshall.
Thank you, Mrs. Hamilton.
I assume you'll be staying on longer to arrange Miss Marshall's membership?
I'd be delighted to accommodate Miss Marshall in any way I can.
Shaheen, Miss Marshall would like you not to bother about her bill this morning. She's staying on a little longer.
Okay.
Ow! Stop it! Get off! That hurts!
I'd bash your brains out if I thought you had any.
Well, I didn't mean it, honest.
Don't you dare say that word to me. You wouldn't even know the meaning of the word.
Oh, you'll break your handbag.
You are the lowest of the low. I never want to see you or hear from you again. Have you got that through your thick skull?
I didn't mean it was a joke.
Oh, yeah. Got a lot of laughs, didn't it?
Well, once I'd done it, there was no turning back, was there?
And Benny took the blame.
Yeah, but they weren't going to do anything to him, were they?
Do? Oh, I'll tell you what you did. You damn nearly broke his heart, that's all. Now listen to me, you. If you get the sack, Terry Lawton, you'll rabbit your way out of it. But Benny is honest. But you wouldn't know the meaning of that word, would you? I tell you, you are finished with me. You've blown it. So do you know what you're going to do? You're going to get out of this place, out of this flat, out of King's Oak, because I never want to see you or hear from you again, do you understand?
Come on, Di, I'm your brother.
Yeah, a card from you would ruin my Christmas. Now get out.
I'll go in the morning.
You'll go now.
What, tonight?
Now.
But where?
Back from where you came. Now go on, you have no choice in the matter.
I'd be useless in London, be a write-off. I'll be kipping in the streets. I'll catch me death.
My heart bleeds.
Look, just give me a month to get a stake together.
Now, Terry.
All right. You win, I'll go. And suffer all the way back to London. If
what?
If you stake me the fare. Ow!
Here you are. Chalet number 17. The chalets are over there. Thank you.
Shaheen,
Yes, Mr. Paul?
have you seen Glenda Banks?
I think she's been helping out in the kitchen.
We have a silver wedding party. She should be in the restaurant clearing up the tables. Ah, Mrs. Brownlow, perhaps you can help me. I'm looking for your daughter.
Glenda? Well, isn't she in the restaurant?
No, she's not. But then I hardly expect her to be where she's wanted.
Oh, now, just a minute.
I have given that girl every consideration in the past. But I'm afraid my patience is at an end. We have no room for passengers in this motel.
Glenda works just as hard as the next one. Oh, Glenda, there you are. Mr. Paul's looking for you.
Oh, I'm sorry, Mr. Paul. I went over to the cafeteria for my break and I lost track of the time. I've been reading.
Reading, Must have been some book. Let me see.
Oh, it's nothing special. I'm sorry I'm late. I'll get back to the restaurant then.
Please do. Your fellow waitresses are having to work extra hard to make up for lost time. I want those tables finished in 1 hour, do you hear? 1 hour, immaculate and finished.
Yes, Mr. Paul.
I think you're being rather hard on her. She handled 2 stations at lunch, you know, when one of the girls was ill.
Please, Mrs. Brownlow, don't defend her because she's your daughter. And I warn you, there are no special privileges attached to that relationship.
I never expected there to be.
The next time she's late on duty or is impertinent to me, she's out. Fired.
What is all this?
I'm sorry, Mrs. Hamilton, a minor staff problem. Very well, off you go.
That's no way to speak to Mrs. Brownlow, particularly in public.
I'm finding it extremely difficult to work with Mrs. Brownlow and her daughter. The daughter takes advantage of her mother's position here and in consequence is a bad timekeeper and is thoroughly indifferent to her duties. As for Mrs. Brownlow, I'm afraid it was a mistake to elevate her to the post of housekeeper. Quite unsuitable. She has no idea of first-class catering and is unable to control her staff. Not that I wish to make any problems for her.
Well, then this has been rather a pointless exercise, wouldn't you say? Don't try to demean a colleague's ability to me, Mr. Ross. I've always found tale-bearing a most unattractive trait.
So, you found him then?
Mm-hmm. In the local cafe, feeling his face.
I might have known. So what do you think?
What?
About it all?
Oh, it's great, isn't it?
It was a bit daft to run away, wasn't it?
Well, it seemed like the best thing.
Oh, but Benny, what about me? Don't I deserve a goodbye?
Well, you would have stopped me, wouldn't you?
I'm not so sure about that. Oh, I don't know, Benny, you are a lot of trouble. I suppose you're hungry again.
Bet, yeah.
Thought you might be. I'll rustle up something. Ashley?
Oh, thanks, but I haven't got time. I'm meeting Sharon from work. And I better get my skates on.
Don't forget to tell her the good news, eh?
Oh, she knows already. Phone her from Peachy. Starts first thing tomorrow morning. Anyway, I'll be off then.
And Ashley, thanks ever so much.
Oh, thanks.
Anytime.
Oh, let's hope there won't be another one. Well, come on. Come and sit down. Well, it's all over and done with now, isn't it? Yeah. And all down to our Terry. I bet that surprised you, didn't it?
Oh, no.
What?
Oh, I knowed.
You what?
All about it.
But how?
Well, when we were talking about it, see, well, he were laughing all the time, fit to bust, and I thought he knows something, and then he told me that he did it.
Benny, why didn't you tell me?
Well, he were going to break me watch.
Eh?
He were going to smash it. And if I didn't promise, so I promised, didn't I?
I should have smashed him while I had the chance. Benny. Never mind. It's all over and done with now.
Yeah.
But why didn't you tell me? Don't you think you should have said something?
No, 'cause, well, it were a promise. And a promise, it's a promise, innit?
Yes. I suppose it is.
Yeah.
Another resignation. That's the 3rd this month.
Does Paul Ross have power of hire and fire?
Yeah, he's too clever to use it. Rather than sack someone he doesn't like working in the dining room, he'll freeze them into resigning. Seems we have the same problem, you and I. Well, I'm under constraint to work with a man that I detest here. And you're in the same spot with another man at the casino.
Richard Lord. Well, I think that I may have misjudged him. He surprised me yesterday with a gesture of extreme goodwill, which he was modest enough or charming enough to put down to his conscience about my daughter. You never ask me any questions, do you?
Should I?
No harm this time.
All right. Then what, Kate, on earth are you talking about?
The register of users of company cars at the casino. Something that I'd overlooked, but which Richard was helpful enough to point out to me.
They were let down at the last minute by someone who couldn't get his own house sold. And it's much bigger than it looks from the outside. Got a open-plan living room. Oh, and a sun lounge. Didn't tell you about that, did I? Built on at the back.
Yeah, you haven't signed anything, though, have you? Not before I've seen it.
No, of course not. But I told them about the money being okay. About not having to hang around for a mortgage. They were dead chuffed. You won't want to hang around once you see it. It's perfect. Not a thing needs doing.
Pity in a way. I was hoping it might keep your father out of mischief. Huh? He's got some bee in his bonnet about early retirement. I told him he won't know what to do with himself, but he might as well talk to that wall.
You serious?
Yes, I am. Tom, I got a bit of enjoyment out of life.
Listen to him. One long holiday, that office of yours is.
Oh, that's what you think. It's been hard work. Most of it very boring.
Well, good for you, Dad.
Oh, that's right. Encourage him.
Even so, of course, you didn't sign.
Well, yes, I did, as a matter of fact. Well, perhaps I shouldn't have done, but as Richard said, I was only doing something I would have done at the time if I hadn't been so upset.
You shouldn't have signed, Kate, because in doing so you were tampering with the evidence and putting yourself completely in Richard Lord's hands.
I'm bushed. Sorry, personal matters?
No. No, highly impersonal, if David's right. I've finished for the day, unless there's anything you want doing.
No, thanks, Kate. Nothing.
Right. Good night.
Good night. What was the impersonality?
Something it is better for you not to know.
We do happen to be married, you know.
Why state the obvious?
Because it doesn't seem obvious to you that wives just don't like husbands to shut them out.
You're asking me to gossip about Kate?
I'm asking you to explain why you and she were looking so worried when I came in.
I'm not going to explain. For your sake. That will one day, of course.
Who knows who might or might not be around to receive any explanations one day. Or how much a wife might or might not be able to help a husband when he's worried about an equally worried friend.
I don't want to put you in the position of having the answers to questions that may be asked of you.
By whom and about what?
You'll keep silence, of course, but silence under oath is in itself a lie. And the last thing I want for you is to be thought of as a liar.
Under oath? Does that mean the Attorney Moran inquest was going to be reopened?
No, not yet. But someone out there is choosing his time, I believe.
Come on, Glenn. I said we'd be there for 8 o'clock.
Well, it's only 10 to 7. There's plenty of time.
I want you to have a good look at the outside from the street before we go in.
Where's Mum and Dad?
Oh, in the kitchen washing up. Why?
Well, I don't want them to hear this till I've told you.
Hear what? What's all this?
Sit down for a minute and listen. I've been reading this all day. I just couldn't put it down. It's marvellous.
A book?
It's not just a book, Kevin. Have a look, please.
A Matter of Life. What's it about?
Us.
Eh?
Well, people like us who can't have children, or who thought they couldn't have them. It's a chance, Kevin. We wouldn't have to adopt. We could have our own.
This is about...
Test tube babies. Yes. Oh, it's what I want, Kevin.
What I want. Forget it, Glenn. I mean that.